Looks like we're live.
We're good. Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Fantastic.
Listen, guys, welcome. This is the Real Estate Investing Mastery Podcast, and it's also our live YouTube and Facebook broadcast where we're just what we thought we'd do. Gavin and I were talking. We said, hey, let's get some students and let's turn some coaching calls into live podcasts because we can kind of kill two birds with one stone. Now, why we want to kill birds with stones, I don't know, but we thought, let's do this, and we can help Taylor, and we can help our podcast, YouTube, Facebook audience, and hopefully, what we're going to maybe give some advice, hopefully some good advice to Taylor. You guys can listen to this and apply it in your own business. That's the whole goal of what we are trying to do. So first, I want to invite you to watch a new case study video that Gavin and I did recently. It's called How We Did Over $155,000 in the Last 2 months doing deals virtually in another market with no direct mail, working with some of our coaching clients. And it's pretty cool. If you want to get more information on that case study, go to virtualcasestudy.com, virtualcasestudy.com to get some more information and to watch that video. It's about 30, 45 minutes long. It's not a big sales pitch. Gavin and I just break down step by step. There's like 7 or 8 steps, Gavin, I think, of how to do these deals and what we're doing. And then if you're interested, we give you an opportunity at the end to apply to maybe work with us. We've got a workshop coming up in a few weeks here in St. Louis. We do them almost about once a month, where we take a small group of people, just 10, 12 people, roll up our sleeves and implement, set up the systems, do the marketing, and partner with our clients on deals. I love this business. So welcome. We have a special guest. His name is Taylor, and he's got a little small puppy dog on his lap. Look at that big thing.
Small.
That's awesome.
Small,
I just
60
got
pounds.
60 pounds. He's a big old dog. We like dogs on this show. If some of you seen on my Facebook post, go to my Facebook wall and look at the picture I posted the other day of our little puppy. She's about the cutest puppy you'll ever see. But
my wife might argue that.
Yeah, I'm not.
everybody thinks their dog is the cutest.
Of course.
But cool. So this is Taylor, and we sent out a message the other day to our students and said, "Hey, who would like to be on a podcast? We're going to do a free coaching call with you guys, but we've got Taylor's permission to put it out there." So Taylor, we sent you some questions. I'm just going to kind of read through this right now, okay? And we will do our best to help you, okay? What are 1 or 2 things you would specifically like to accomplish on this call? You said how to fully automate and go virtual with texting Craigslist and Zillow sellers and landlords. Okay, how to automate that and go virtual with it.
Yes.
What kind of investing do you focus on? It's wholesaling and lease options, as well as you do some apartments. Cool. You currently do real estate full-time, is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. And you're in the Baton Rouge, Louisiana market, right?
Yes, sir.
What's the proper, correct way to say that, Baton Rouge?
That's right. Baton Rouge.
Okay, I got it. You're currently average about $9 to $10 a month in wholesale fees. Is that right?
Yeah, it's I'm having a couple difficulties with like hard money lenders with some of my deals trying to close right now.
Okay.
So
but your average
Yeah.
profits, for wholesaling is
Yeah,
about
it's-
$9 to $10 a month.
yeah, it's been about 9 to 10 grand.
Good. There was a guy. No, he was in Lafayette, I believe. His name is Chris Rude. Does that name ring a bell to you?
Yeah, he's my mentor for wholesaling.
Cool guy. I like Chris a lot.
Oh yeah.
He gave me an idea for one of the best bandit signs I'd ever seen and have used, and it's just really simple. It says, "We buy houses regardless of equity." Has he talked to you about that yet?
I have not seen that one. No.
Oh, it's a fantastic bandit sign. You should test it, use it. Everyone else out there listening, we buy houses regardless of equity, phone number. Bandit signs, especially if you know how to do lease options, that will get a lot more calls. because there's still a lot of people, believe it or not, even today in this hot market, quote unquote, who have very little equity in their house. And that just kind of makes you stand out. Your current monthly goal is about 100 grand a month. That's a good goal to have.
I'll get there.
Or-
I'll get there.
You will. What are some of the things that you're holding that you feel like are holding you back from reaching your goals? And you say unorganized. How much do you currently spend a month on marketing? About 3 grand. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I got 2 cold callers that go for me.
Okay, awesome. And how many offers do you make a week on average? You say, honestly, can't say because I don't track it. It's one of the things you need to get better at. Is that about right?
Yes.
Cool.
That is
So
spot on.
let's talk about the marketing that you're doing right now. What kind of marketing are you doing with the budget of $3,000 a month?
So that's with I'm sending my callers about 5,000 leads or people to call a month, and I skip trace and I just cut that budget down. Actually, it was 3,400 to around 3 grand because my callers I got 2 of them going 30 hours a week, $750 an hour, and they're also managed by somebody else. That's included in the $750. So that's about 18.
I can see Gavin. I can see dollar signs in Gavin's head. Gavin's got some awesome things to share with you. But go ahead,
right.
Finish what you were going to say.
I've got them going. They've been going now this is week number 2, and they've been averaging about 4 leads a day, and that's between either wholesaling leads or lease option. And I basically just told them, because I'm getting into lease option, I told them, like, if any interest in selling, just send them my way, and I'll work it out from there. I'll put them in whatever bucket. Hang on, he caught up in my he caught my wire. Yeah, just and also a little bit of, I'm sending out some mailings for pre-probate, and I worked in there the scrape-in solutions that I paid for the month, and I'm texting those out.
What CRM are you using?
REI Simple. I was Podio, and then now just moving all that into REI Simple.
What do you think of REI Simple?
It's amazing. I'm still learning it, but I love the SMS broadcast. Being able to send contracts straight from there. Don't have to use DocuSign anymore. Having it, being able to just like customize them, I love it.
Are you sending out direct mail yet? Like, are you sending, when you're sending offers?
Click to mail.
Yeah, through click to mail.
I have not. Just sending them the offer and then following up with them.
Okay, good. You should think about that.
I'm going to do that. Definitely.
Yeah, that's super important. I've been talking to more and more students lately, and people on interviews on podcasts and masterminds. And one of the things that you need to do to stand out above your competition is to send offers in the physical mail, right? But okay, cool. So you're doing some cold calling. You're doing some texting, SMS broadcasts to Zillow and Craigslist. You're doing a little bit of direct mail to probates, right?
The pre-probates, yes.
Pre-probates, okay. Who are you skip tracing and cold calling right now?
The what types of leads?
Yeah.
So I do my driving for dollars and vacant properties, and that's mainly wholesaling. I'm trying to transition into like what list I should pull for best for lease options. I have one. I know you said you don't want anybody that's owned a property. You want them to at least own it for a year, and so on. And then it doesn't really matter for the equity. So I'm thinking about pulling a list like that and then let them call that as well.
But who's this cold calling company dialing? What number? How did they get those phone numbers that they're calling?
Oh, the phone numbers. I use Lead Sherpa with their. They have a skip trace site on there. It's 15 cents per hit.
What list did you skip trace?
Oh yeah, my driving for dollars list, a vacant list,
and that's it.
And some pre-foreclosures, as well as like a big non-owner occupied or absentee owner.
List. Good. What our favorite list to skip trace and text and call are absentee owners with equity. Now, if you know how to do lease options, even better, because now just to pull all the absentee owners, regardless of how much equity they've had, as long as they've owned it for about a year, right?
Oh yeah, that'll be a great list.
That'll give you, 2 to 3 times the amount of leads call. Gavin, what talk about cold calling and what you're doing and maybe how we can help Taylor with that.
Absolutely. Just a quick thing that you said, Taylor. You say that you gave the callers 5,000 leads each. Is that what you said?
Just 5,000 a month.
So
is what I add to the pool.
Okay. So you're giving them 5,000. So in that 5,000 right now is pre-probate. Oh, no, that's your direct mail list. You've driving for dollars and an absentee list. That's what they're calling right now. But you've only been doing it 2 weeks, right?
Yes. So I haven't put in the 5,000 yet, but that's what I'm budgeting for, is to put in 5,000 a month. So I need to, I guess, get the list that I want to do the 5,000 a month on.
Okay. Well, one thing you need to be aware of when you say 5,000, which is awesome, it's a good goal to have, but don't worry too much about how many leads that you can get. It's all about how many dials they're doing through them leads and actually qualifying, right? So you need to be calling the same list multiple times. So
yes, for sure.
10, 11, 12, 13 touches with the same list. That's what we can do it up to. Does that make sense? And the other big thing is, what time are they calling? Your cold callers.
So they're calling at about 12 my time to about 6.
Okay. And they're calling at the same time?
Every day. Yeah. Oh, Monday through Friday is what they're calling.
But they're calling at the same time. Both of them are on 12 till 6.
Both of them are going from 12 to 6.
Okay. So what I would personally recommend, is having one start at 9 and doing the morning shift and one doing the afternoon to evening shift. So let's just say they were doing 4 hours. You do 9 till 1, and then you would do 4 till 7, 3 till 7. For instance, does that make sense? And then what you'll do then, if you have separate lists, they will work them lists, and then you will rotate the lists between the VAs. So
that's smart, where they're hitting both.
Exactly. On different times. So your audience is being hit at different times, depending on shift jobs being, the early people or the late people, if they finish work. Because what we do is when we hit a list in the morning and we move that till the afternoon, sometimes it can react like a new list.
That's true. I like that.
Does that make sense? So you call in, it's great that you're calling, number one, right? But doing it at the same time, you're not leveraging your callers as best as you should be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
What works and what time. The other thing is,
this went off.
Yes, there's a gold nugget there for you.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is 6 hours is a lot of time. And again, you've got someone else running your VA. So I don't need to know who that is because I don't want to knock what they're doing because that's not what I'm trying to say. But 6 hours without a break is intense.
Well, yeah, they take like 15-minute breaks every now and then.
Okay, good. Because what you'll find is that normally the first 3 hours is always going to perform better than the last 3. Because they're going to burn out. And you only need to test it yourself, right? Now, people in the it's brutal, right? I do about 45 minutes, and I'm
not a fan. That's why I hired it out as soon as I could. I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. So just be careful of that, and make sure the other thing is as well that you're using the same callers. I guess you're doing that right. You're using the same people doing that. You're not like you haven't got random people coming in. You have the same 2 people that you know who they are. Okay.
Yes.
Can you listen to their calls?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
They were just starting out, and a couple of their calls were pretty cringy.
Okay.
But the team is working on them, and I'm also giving them tips on what not to do.
Okay, good. And that's huge. Okay, the biggest thing that you can do, I know they're being managed by someone else, but you have to control that, right? You can still automate this business and still work on the business because you controlling them are going to get you a better quality lead to where it's actually a good lead. Does that make sense? Rather than just sending everything in, which is great because if you're only getting 4 a day, are you getting 4 per shift or 4 between 12 of them? Between 12 hours, between 2 of them, sorry.
4 per day between the 2 of them.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel that's low personally. especially for a new list. I would normally like to see, especially in a market like yours, probably a lead an hour for your market, right? So I feel that you can get them numbers up. Now, as the list gets older, they will start to drop. So, and maybe that's the ability of the callers, and you're already listening, so that's great. And you don't have to listen to 100 calls. Just go and listen to one. And normally, if they've got one that way, they will all follow suit, right? Yeah. So when you listen to that, and it's then the way that you deliver it, talk to them like they're part of the team. When you are on the phone, try and talk with them before shift and after shift. How's it going? Do you need anything? A great question that I like to ask them, if you could change one thing, what would it be? Give them the voice to come forward. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Because they won't tell you. They'll be scared of you. Because normally the way that they are treated, it's stick to this script, don't come off the script, do this, do that, and I don't want to hear from you, right? That's how they're normally treated. Where we want to treat them like humans, which I'm sure you are, but a lot of people don't let them speak and let them make mistakes and be honest. Say, hey, you're struggling. What do you need? What would you change? And they'll say, well, I think we could do this. And sometimes it would be better. It might be the same thing, and it might just be a different way of doing it. You're like, okay, if you want to do it like that, no problem. Now they've made a decision in the business. Now they're even going to work harder for you. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So 2 things there. One is the call times. Got to change that, right? Yeah. And again, I don't need to know who you're using, but tell them that's what you want to do, because that's the main reason.
And it makes sense the way you describe it.
Are you texting them first and then cold calling them? Or are you cold calling them first and then putting them in a broadcast campaign, either with REI Simple or Lead Sherpa?
So they're just being cold called.
Okay.
So those that are being cold called are just being cold called, and then the ones that I scrape, or that get scraped off Zillow and Craigslist, just get blasted text.
You should think about doing, after they're cold called, just put them into a text campaign. I think the best thing to do might be put them into a text SMS broadcast campaign. You can do that with Lead Sherpa or REI Simple. Make sure you filter out that known litigators list, right?
Oh, yeah, I do.
But then send a text campaign. Anybody that hasn't responded, download them, put them into the cold calling campaign. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should start doing that. That's part of the organization thing.
Sure. Well, as you start getting more and deeper into REI Simple, it's going to make it a lot easier for you. But the important thing with REI Simple is to make sure you're updating your statuses, because that's the only way you can filter out the leads that need to go here or to go there. That makes sense? You can, when you change the status of when they respond, you can then pull out or export, or maybe even do a new SMS broadcast to the ones that never responded to your first text, right? Or you can send out an SMS broadcast to the ones who you're still waiting for a response out there. Like when I'm sending my text campaigns, I always like to end it with a question. Like to say something like, you're not interested maybe in, is your house still available, with a question mark. In fact, I wish I could remember, there was a certain text that one of my friends always sends out, and it's really weird. It's like a statement. It's a statement, but he phrases that a question. It phrases the statement as a question. It looks weird, but when you see it, you're like compelled to respond, because it's a simple question. It's like a yes or no question. That's a good way to initiate or reinitiate a new conversation with the seller, right? That makes sense? I want to ask you, Taylor, you're making some offers. Are you tracking them right now? Like, how many are going out?
So right now in REI Simple, I've done just 3 in 2 weeks. 4 in 2 weeks.
Why have you not been making more? Are you just not tracking it yet in REI Simple?
I might not be tracking it. I'm making them over the text messages as well. I'm just not sending them like the paperwork on it.
One thing with texting too, I should add, and the same with your cold callers, right? You don't want them to do too much pre-screening. As soon as they raise their hand, get that lead into your CRM, REI Simple, and then call them yourself, right? try to avoid by texting, try to avoid too much conversation about the numbers. You just want to get some motivation, schedule a time to get them on the phone and talk to them. Make sense? Real important, because that's the only way you can find out their motivation. If they really do have a problem, try to get them on the phone. If you call them, goes to voicemail, send them a text back. Hey, just left a message. If they have some interest in selling, the questions that you can text them, you see the ones that Lead Sherpa gives you, right? Those are good responses to get back with.
Well, I'm not with Lead Sherpa on their text blast, just their skip tracing.
Okay, all right, fine. But like, try to get them on the phone as quickly as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How do you feel like your phone skills are with sellers when you're talking to them on the phone?
I think they're fairly decent with extracting the information and getting their motivation.
Do you think you could send an offer to every seller you talk to?
I know I probably should.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's stopping you from doing that, do you think?
Doing it. That's it. That's the only thing that's stopping me.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's important, sorry, just to add with that, because, you know, when you're obviously not scared to spend money, right? If you're spending $3,000 a month, that's good. And that should be, in my opinion, you should be seeing a lot higher investment than $9,000 a month return. Okay. You need to be getting that up to, you know, more, let's just say, right? More for your market as well. Now, if you were in like San Fran or somewhere like that, then okay, probably not. But I feel the marketing now that you have gone to, that money you will generate over time a lot more contracts. Okay. And this is the difference, I guess, between direct mail, is that these leads coming in you need a good system and a good follow-up. So the biggest thing of organization, you've got to get organized. And like Joe said, changing the status to what's going on, because that's the only way you're going to make this work over a period of time. Because you've only had 4 leads a day, you're 2 weeks in, you can probably piece everything together right now. But let's jump forward a couple of months, right? And you've got 400 leads now in. And if you're not organized, this thing's going to be missed all over. And you're still going to be hopping at one deal a month and thinking, why? Right? And the reason is that you have to have the status on point. The biggest thing in there is the status. If you run everything by status, you can't miss anything, right? And then with the follow-up that you'll be doing on a monthly basis, on the daily, depending on how hot or warm or cold the lead is, you will start to convert. You will convert leads. I guarantee the leads that have come in this week, over 3 months, you will convert one of them that are already in the database.
And that's one thing I need to learn REI Simple better, to where I can do all that stuff.
Well, sometimes, you know, we say it a lot, Taylor, like sometimes the best automation you can get is a good virtual assistant, right? Yeah. You got to get a VA to organize that stuff for you as soon as possible. And I forget if you even said that or not. Do you have a virtual assistant, like an admin VA right now?
I need one. Like I really do need one.
Well, I would carve out $500 a month out of that marketing budget, and I would put that to a full-time general admin VA. Like I'd recommend virtualstafffinder.com, and just telling you want a real estate admin assistant. They're a headhunting service. You pay them $500, they'll go find 3 VAs for you. The cool thing about using a headhunting service in the Philippines is they're going to give you a full-time dedicated VA, not somebody from Upwork that's working for 3 or 4 other people doing a bunch of different projects. They're going to give you a full-time, one dedicated VA who just wants to work for one person. And so it helps if you can get real estate experience, but it's not super important. It's not required.
Yeah.
So you can get a good general admin VA, tell them what you're looking for. They will give you some candidates, and then you can interview them. If one of them doesn't work out, they'll give you 3 more. But I've had real good success with them. I know my other students have as well. Don't worry about them having to understand or know RES. I mean, obviously, they're not going to, but like as soon as they're in, you can send them to the REI Simple training videos, right? Get them familiar with it. But you need to be sure that you're not doing the $5 an hour activities. You're focusing on the $500 an hour activities, because you already know how to talk to sellers. You just need to be talking to more of them.
Yes.
And get a VA then to do the manual data entry stuff. That's not your strength. Like,
That's the part that slows me down a lot.
stop trying to fix your weaknesses. Outsource them
Yep.
instead. I wish I could outsource my exercise and diet, right? But I can't. That's the only thing you can't outsource.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd pay
But
a lot
in
of money.
business, outsource your unorganizing stuff. Like, get a VA to do that for you. It's not that hard. Get the VA to be the real estate or the REI Simple expert. And then they can update, manage the statuses for you. They can send the offers. They can do the follow-up. You're just talking to sellers, right? And then you're sending a Voxer message or a WhatsApp voice message to the VA after every conversation you have. Maybe you're a note taker, right? So you have a blank lead sheet and you write all your notes on the lead sheet, take a picture of it with your phone, send it to the VA, and then tell the VA, add these notes here. REI Simple records the calls, right? Have the VA listen to the recorded call and tell the VA on the voice memo, just talk to the seller, mark the status as this, remind me in a month to follow up with them, go ahead and send them an offer for cash or a lease option offer, send them the lease option credibility kit, send them a cash offer for $50,000, remind me in 3 weeks to call them back, etc. You know what I'm saying?
I need that in my life so bad.
Oh,
that right there, I feel like will make
dude,
up my.
you know how easy it is to find somebody to do that?
Because that's what that right there holds me back so much.
That's
Just
not that hard.
Never been me. I see so much further ahead than like that stuff.
Yes.
I don't know.
So I don't know if that was your girlfriend or your wife or your sister or your mom or.
Yeah, that was my wife back there.
Okay.
Came and took the dog. I don't know if you could hear him. It's like his.
No, but like, I don't know if she can help you maybe for a little bit. But like, get somebody that can do this. So first thing you'll do, hire somebody that says, hey, you got to work, I think your Eastern time zone, you got to work 8 to 5 Eastern time zone, right? Every day. And you give them an order of priorities. Number 1, make sure the marketing goes out. Number 2, update my CRM. Okay. Then number 3, send the offers. You want them to send offers for you, which is kind of related to the update the CRM. Number 4, do all your follow-up for you. So that's the only things they have to do. Make sure the marketing's going out, or make, like if you have to, we talked about a scorecard, have them update the scorecard every day. How much marketing went out, how many came in, how many sellers you talked to, how many offers you make. So that you have a report you can review every week. You've got to have the numbers there in front of you. So yeah. I've heard it said, and I say this to people too, but like, if you don't know your numbers, you do not have a real business, right? You've got to know your numbers. And if you're just floundering around, you're going to struggle. You've got to know your numbers. How much marketing is going out? What are we spending in marketing? What's our average cost per lead? What's our average revenue per deal or profit per deal? What's our average profit per lead source? Like, what's the most profitable marketing that you're doing?
And I need all that.
Oh yeah, that's just huge. That's huge. So the VA is going to make sure the marketing goes out. It's updating the scorecard. They're going to make sure they're updating the CRM for you. That's going to be like 75% of their job. Then they're going to send the offers for you in the email and physical mail. And then they're going to do all your follow-up. So whatever that is for you, I mean, every lead needs to get followed up with at least once a month for the rest of eternity, like forever. That's a job that should never, ever stop.
Oh yeah. If somebody doesn't answer my phone call, like they were a lead that my callers send in, they don't answer my call, I call them every single day until they answer.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. We just closed one last month from 2 years. A 2-year follow-up.
Thanks. I haven't been in the game long enough, but that takes some.
Yeah, and it's not, but it's just having the system so nothing gets missed. 2 years. We did a video last month on it, and when you could see the dates, like, so I can't even make it up because at the time we were using Podio, so it would date stamp everything from when the lead came in to when it actually closed.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to be,
That's
following up.
Yeah, those are the
Taylor,
best deals too.
Are you going to do this? Are you going to get a VA?
Oh yes, I'm getting a VA.
When?
I need to figure out a way to shave some off my my budget, or like to cut costs to where I can do that.
So today's Wednesday. Can you commit publicly to the whole entire universe right now? Because we've got millions of people watching you on YouTube and Facebook. I'm just kidding. Hello, all like one or two of you. But like you're going to commit to everybody right now, saying, "Hey, by next Wednesday, a week from now, I'm going to at least contact Virtual Staff Finder and get them to find me 3 VAs."
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I commit.
And then 2 weeks after that, no, that's too long. I'm being too nice on you.
I'd say by the weekend, personally. Like,
okay.
I'll contact them as soon as I get off this. But,
all right, good. That's it. Contact them, send them the $500. They'll schedule an interview with you, talk to you, find out what you're looking for. But like, you got to get that ball rolling within the next week.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I will. Definitely.
You're just throwing away money.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So cool. Anything else, Gavin?
No, I mean, your VA thing, you need to sort your cold calls out. You got to get them.
I'm gonna message them as soon as we get off here.
Yeah. And you need to spread that. I like to do 4 hours personally, and I would. You probably can't because I don't know what contract you're in. They probably want you to do 6, but I would, if you can, I'd do 3 VAs at 4 hours a piece. I'd do an extra VA and shorten the others' hours because I think they'll be more efficient and they'll get more leads.
Yeah, they just actually added a third as like kind of like a relief. So it's a fairly new company, but they just texted me right before I got on this call. So they're training up a third as a relief for these in case they have to go somewhere, or I'll even ask her to help because these VAs are calling for other people as well.
Well, okay.
Yeah, don't tell me anymore.
I think they are. Yeah.
Okay. So our advice when we're working with a coaching client, we tell them you need to have your own dedicated VA working just for you, not for anybody else. And they should only be doing cold calling 3, max 4 hours a day. Like, because there's an efficiency curve. Like, you try doing it yourself, like Gavin mentioned earlier. Like, after 3 hours, your brain starts melting. Like, the cells in your brain start fizzling and smoking, right? So, like, there's a point where after that, you just got to get them doing something else. Like, or if they are working for you, like, maybe have them do data entry stuff, or going to the county website to pulling lists of probates and evictions and divorces and tax liens that you can start maybe marketing to, right? But like, only let them do that. So like, the sooner you can get, I don't want to knock another company because, obviously.
No, all this is great information.
It's good because you've not named the company, and don't. I don't want to know who they are because then we can't be like attacking someone.
Yes, but we like to hire our own dedicated VAs to do the cold calling for us, and we like the Filipino VAs. So we'll, Gavin, when we found our first Filipino VA I actually told Gavin, I said, we need to hire somebody local because somebody else said that. He's like, no, I'm going to try Filipino. I said, okay, whatever. But like, and then it worked. Like, so we put a job in Upwork, I think, but we specifically said we're looking for somebody with Mojo sales experience. So we used Mojo, and so we found somebody. We didn't have to train them much, and so then every time we need a new VA for one of our coaching clients, we just go to her and she finds a friend or something like that. Now I think we've got 45 VAs working for us.
Wow.
But each one has their own dedicated client that they're working for, right? So that's really, really important. Make sure they're not working for somebody else. They're working just for you. And you're going to save a lot of money too. We're paying, what's our average right now, Gavin? Is it $5 to $7 an hour for the VA?
$5 an hour. And if you get someone that's really good, because you'll have the company say, well, they've got to work, they've got to earn money. That's why we farm them out to all these people, because that's how they make money over full time, right? I understand that. But if they are good at what they do and you give them some bonuses, they'll still make more than the full time anyway. And it gets them even better and more hungry to perform in the allotted time. Now, they would work more for me. I don't want them to work more because I want them to be strong for the hours that they are at work. Like if I said 8 hours a day, they'd all jump for it, of course. But I just know on the body of cold calling of what I've personally seen, that it's just too much. Yeah. So you got to control that. And I don't like, I know they've put a relief one in. That's another person. Well, is there going to be another relief? And before you know it, you've got all these VAs and you don't know any of them are. And you can't help train that if they're going to be swapping out. And momentum's key, because it's just like anything. Us as well, for you, when you get on a call and you have a great call, you want to get on another call because the momentum you're taking over to the next seller, I mean, the energy's there, the confidence is there. You're not going to come across arrogant. You're just going to be confident and you're just going to hit it and you're going to get another one and you got to go again. And then on the flip side, and this goes on the flip, when it just doesn't seem to be working, you're just not in your groove. Them days. And
I've experienced both sides.
I need to just go away and do something else for a little bit and don't force it, right? So it's almost the mentality of when things are good, you've got to keep going and don't slow. And when things are not going, that's when you can kind of like chill out, relax for a minute, go and do something, come back and try and go at it again.
That's good. Let me give you another piece of advice when it comes to virtual assistants. And Gavin is really good at this. You need to have regular communication with them, and especially at the beginning, every day. First thing in the morning, maybe if you can at the end of the day. If it could just be a text message, right, or a Slack or a Skype message, but you've got to have that regular communication with them. That is something that's got to be a non-negotiable. That's got to be number one priority, because these VAs. The biggest reason I think why a lot of investors struggle with virtual assistants is they're not talking to them enough, right? They're just giving them some instructions and hoping or expecting them to understand it and do it and not have any problems. And it just doesn't work that way. I mean, can you imagine working in an office with assistants and never talking to them, never seeing them, and just expecting them to do their job? They're real people, and they love Gavin because he's always talking to them and they feel appreciated, they feel understood, they feel heard. But Gavin is also like, I need to know when there's a roadblock or what's the bottleneck, what's going on, why, because they're not going to come to you typically with problems that they're having. If something's not working, if they're not going to come to you and tell you this stuff. So you have to constantly be asking every day, how's it going? And you got to look at the numbers. Look to see how many outbound dials did they make, how much time did they spend on the phone. Talk to them every single day. After maybe a month, you can talk to them once a week maybe, but like that communication is so important. Even if you talk to them once a week, you should be texting them every day.
I message them on Skype. We're in like a group message between me and the VAs.
Yeah, that's so important. And you're already doing this, so that's good. But when you go to Upwork and or Virtual Staff Finder and you find your new VA, you got to have that communication. And it could just be a few minutes, but first thing in the morning, have them send you at the end of the day, maybe their scorecard, give them their own scorecard. Make them come up with it. Like I want to see what you did today. Just put it into a spreadsheet or something for me so I can look at it and see what did you do and how much follow-up did you do. And does that make sense?
Oh yeah. I'm
so
tracking completely
important.
on that.
So important. Cool.
And for everyone listening, we're talking when we check in with the VA, we know when they're going to start, right? So if they're on the 9 till 1, I know they're going to message me at 9 o'clock. So it's not like I'm talking with them and they're taking all this time up. It's not. I just know when. I know one VA starts at 10 and he messages me an hour before. I don't know why he does it, but I relentless know he'll message me an hour before he starts and then he'll start at 10. He does it every day. So I already know the sequence of what they do and communicate, and you'll just see a massive, massive difference over time.
Cool.
Right, yeah.
Awesome.
Taylor, what are some of your big takeaways? What are you going to do?
Get a VA. That's for sure, like first thing I'm doing. And as well as switching up the hours, going to talk to them about the hours, and then maybe even subbing in this and talking to them about my cold callers, about saying, hey, I want them to be strictly mine. I don't know if that'd be a deal breaker, or if I can get new cold callers, because I am still fresh in. If I can get new ones that are strictly mine, because I don't want them to be fatigued when calling and getting yelled at, because I know that. I mean, it bounces off me now, like getting yelled at, but being in that spiral downward where it's back to back. So I'm going to get that switched up and stay in contact with them, with my VAs.
One thing I'll recommend too, you don't have to use Mojo cells for your outbound calling.
I use Zen.
You can actually do, or in-call. You can actually do outbound cold calling inside of REI Simple. And I've talked to investors that are using REI Simple or FreedomSoft for their outbound calls, and they prefer it because of the quality versus quantity argument. They claim that the quality is much better. You can leave a personalized voicemail for that specific seller. Hey, Jim, calling about your house at 123 Main Street. Not sure I have the right person or not, but if you're interested in selling, please give me a call back. Click, right? Then while you're in there, you send them a quick text. Hey, I'm calling about your house at 123 Main Street. Do I have the right person? And then you can update the status. Boom, go to the next one. So you're not going to get as many done with an auto dialer or a 3-dialer, but the quality is going to be a little better because you can leave a personalized, unique message. You can send them a text message. Maybe, set up a reminder to call them again the next day or whatever. But like if you can do that inside of there, even if you use these VAs with the other service, think about that. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Well, I think you've got it. Well, not from me anyway. I think you've got everything that you need. We always like to leave the call where you're not getting overwhelmed. You should only ever have 1 to 2 things that you focus on, because that's just the reality of you actually doing it. If we give you 10 things, we could be saying more things, right? But I think the 2 things that you need is a VA for admin, and then you need to focus on moving and separating the VAs that you've got into different time zones or call times.
It's funny. I remember I coached Chris Root a little bit a long time ago. And when he was kind of already started, he was getting out of, I think he owned a bunch of oil changes or car washes or something like that. He did. Got a cool story and was doing tons of deals. But I remember giving him the same advice. Get a virtual assistant as soon as possible. Cool. All right, Taylor. Good talking to you. Hey, everybody. Appreciate it, Taylor. By the way, you're on record now in the whole public Facebook and YouTube universe that you're going to, within the next week, get a VA on Virtual Staff Finder.
I will. I'm definitely going to do it 100% because I'm losing money without doing it.
All right, good. Hey, thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
Listen, everybody, just wanted to let you know that Gavin and I did a case study video showing how we did over 155 grand in the last 2 months doing exactly what we're talking about here. Cold calling, no direct mail, in a virtual market, close to Louisiana, in Alabama. How we did it, how we're working with our clients. And if you want to watch that video and get more information about what we do, go check it out right now at virtualstafffinder.com. Virtual Staff Finder. virtualcasestudy.com.
I was agreeing with you. That's the way.
I saw you. virtualcasestudy.com. Watch that video. It's about 30-45 minutes long. You're going to get a lot of good stuff out of it, and take some notes. And at the end, we'll talk about how you can maybe work with us. If you're interested, we'll set up your systems. We'll give you the VAs. We'll do the marketing for you, and we'll help you, partner with you on the deals. You come to St. Louis, we'll have a 2-day implementation workshop. We'll give you our business in a box. And then we have once a quarter local masterminds. We all get together and we help each other build our businesses stronger and better. So cool. Looking forward to seeing you guys later. Thank you again, Taylor. We'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right,
thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.